Hello everyone, we welcome you all to this week Tech Tuesday webinar on Custom Metadata Integration in Cloud Data Governance and Catalog. Today's speakers are Avanish Srivastava, Rakesh Verma, and Kadarwali Sheikh. Before we start the session, let's go through some of the housekeeping tips. The webinar is for 1 hour that includes 15 minutes Q&A. You can post your queries in Q&A box, which will be answered at the end of the presentation. All participants will be muted during the presentation. The session will be recorded and it will be available on our InfoSupport YouTube channel and Success Portal where you can download the slide deck. Please feel free to submit your suggestion or feedback for this session in the post-webinar survey. The Success Portal is a micro-learning platform that offers free, unlimited learning to all the registered users. This feature-rich platform helps you learn and adopt your Informatica products better. The following are a few important links that you can go over later. This will help you in your product adoption journey with Informatica. Over to you, Avanish, Rakesh, and Kadarwali. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi everyone, this is Avanish Srivastava and I will be starting the discussion today and will be joined by my colleagues Rakesh and Kadir a bit later. So let's look at the agenda we have today. The first thing is to talk about Informatica's Intelligent Data Management Cloud because our topic today is a part of the cloud data governance, which is part of the Informatica Data Management Cloud. Then we will look into the custom metadata integration itself, which is the focus of attention today. And we'll talk about what is custom metadata, why do we need it, and how do we get it into the catalog. And then we will get into the custom scanner configuration process flow. So once we have defined what we need, I think it's important to call out specific steps to be executed, specific questions to be asked that, okay, how are we setting this up? So that process flow is a high level list of activities to ensure that you're covering all those things. After that, we will talk about some more technical details like what is a custom model, what are the classes, relationships, how do you prepare metadata. And then we will spend some time on custom lineage, which is a subset of custom metadata, easy part of that, I would say. And then towards the end, we have a demo and Q&A, of course, as well. So with that, let me jump to the first slide, which is the introduction. So introduction to Intelligent Data Management Cloud, you may have seen it in many other webinars already, but this is Informatica's, superset of all data management capabilities clubbed under one umbrella. And you can see all these services listed here. And this list has grown actually, but the key services are all listed here. Now the unique, capabilities or the upsides of having everything under Informatica Intelligent Data Management Cloud is that all these services are very closely integrated. They are all powered by our AI system, which is clear, and the connectivity which we have developed over the years or over the decades, I would say, is available to all these services. So that is the power of Informatica's, intelligent data management cloud platform, through which you could set up any of the data management capabilities listed here. But our today's focus is data governance and catalog. Now, one thing to note is that with the data management cloud being under one Informatica platform, a lot of seamless integration comes into play. A lot of user onboarding is simplified. Now services are integrated closely. They feed on each other. They listen and can talk to each other and can provide more insight into the data. But today we would limit our discussion to the data governance and catalog, and we will get into the custom metadata integration part of it specifically. So let me talk about what is custom metadata integration feature in Informatica's data governance catalog. So first of all, let's understand what is custom metadata. Well, custom metadata, when you are searching or visualizing it in the UI, it's just like any other metadata. But what differentiates it is the way you ingest it into the catalog. So custom metadata is any technical metadata which is ingested to Informatica Cloud Catalog without using our out-of-the-box connectors. And there could be many reasons of taking this approach, and we have taken a few of those reasons, like where you would need to use custom metadata. So For example, why do we need it? Okay. So the first one and most common one is that maybe Informatica has not offered a connector to the specific source of metadata. Maybe it's a homegrown metadata source, or if it is something like a system which we do not have a connector yet. In those cases, you could do custom metadata. I would suggest maybe looking out for JDBC connection as well, because Informatica offers JDBC too. But then, yeah, that's one scenario. And then there are a couple of other scenarios where you cannot access the metadata source, even though we have a connector for that. But maybe the metadata or the data lies beyond your company's firewall, or the data is uh, the connectivity is prohibited due to the security challenges, or maybe it's a cloud vendor which is only providing front-end UI access, but is not providing the metadata backend connectivity, and it's only allowing you to export the metadata into, let's say, APIs or JSON formats, or even Excel sheets. So, and then the third one or the fourth one actually is in some cases where the metadata doesn't really exist in one system, and maybe SMEs, the owners of the system, they know about that metadata. They can put it down into a file or something, but it really is not existing anywhere in one system. So these are the scenarios where you would need custom metadata in the catalog. Now, how to ingest custom metadata is basically something we would go in much detail today, but on a higher level, Informatica provides a custom metadata integration capability, which allows user to define their metadata model, then create the uh, metadata definition files and populate them with the actual objects and relationships and everything, and then scan everything using the custom resource into the catalog. But so that's the how part of it, and we will jump in more details uh, just in a few minutes. Now, with that, let's talk about a higher level process flow, just to understand that we are not missing out on any step. We will do the demo and show these things as well, but let's understand the high level process flow. So on the top left corner, I have again iterated the reasons why we would need custom metadata integration. You don't have out of box scanner, you don't have connectivity, or any other reason. uh, these are the cases to turn to custom metadata integration. Now, before going that route, we would again want to check that do we have a JDBC driver through which we can bring that metadata in? If yes, then I would take the JDBC approach, and we should read the documentation on our support for the JDBC driver. But many of our customers are using JDBC. But let's say even that approach is not possible, then of course custom metadata integration is what we have to use. Now, with custom metadata integration, the first thing to understand is that what is the type of metadata. Quite often we see that it's only the lineage, maybe how the data flows is what you need to document. And as you can see, it's much simpler. If you only want to scan the lineage into Informatica's data catalog, which means that you already have source and target systems already created in the catalog or ingested in the catalog, then you would go with a custom resource for Lineage, which means you do not have to create any model, any metadata model in this case. There is a model already there for Lineage. All you have to do is prepare a CSV file and provide the IDs of the source object, target objects, and the way the relationship or the data flow logic. Now, this CSV file could be manually created, or it could be created by a process, DI process, using Informatica CDI as well, possibly. That's something you can control. Now, let's say this is the lineage part, but what if you have some general metadata, maybe some reports or maybe some data objects, with a parent-child hierarchy or, horizontal relationships and all. In those cases, we have to come up with a custom resource with a new metadata model. You have to define all the components, like different type of objects and the relationships between that. Now, to do that, we have to, of course, define a metadata model. And one thing to ensure at this point is that can we reuse an existing metadata model? So it's quite possible, I would say, more often than not, whatever you are planning to ingest as a custom resource is following a similar metadata model like a relational database or a BI reporting tool. And in that case, Informatica already has those meta models uh, available in Cloud Data Governance Catalog. You could export those models and then you can customize it accordingly. Maybe you want to delete a few classes, create new relationships, or rename things, instead of table, you could call it something else. Or instead of BI report, you could call it something else. So those are the things which you could do. But let's say if you want to create from scratch, then that's possible too through the model definition template file. But I would say maybe exporting the template is more common. And then once we do that, then we have to upload the custom model definition file. So we will see the details of this in demo, but yeah, the uploading of the custom model definition in the Informatica Cloud Catalog needs to happen. Then we will import and publish the model. And based on that published metadata model now, we will create a new custom catalog with those source type. And you should give it a proper name, like let's say if you're creating it for in-house repository or whatever the name of the data is. Let's say Denodo, for example, if you're creating a custom scanner for, then I would maybe give it a name like Denodo Custom or Denodo. So that will happen. And once we create the custom catalog source type, then we can download the metadata definition file. Now these are CSV files, which is like objects file and links file. And once you download it, it will give you the headers and the file. Uh, and you just have to, populate the metadata in here and then bring it, bring that metadata to the catalog. So to once you download it, you will have to update the metadata definition file with all the metadata. Now you can do it manual entries, which means let's say if you have metadata exported in some Excels, and you will see that in the demo, then you could just manually put the details over there, or you can automate the metadata generation process through some uh, data integration process as well. And at this moment, I would like to call out a tech preview feature which is recently added in April's release, which links the custom resource to CDI Informatica's cloud data integration tasks. Basically, those tasks uh, could be used to generate the fields for the metadata. But this is a tech preview version. Eventually, generally they become GA or generally available later. But I would recommend referring the product to the product docs for more information on that. But for this demo for today's session, we will show how to create the files manually and update the entries in there. Now, once we do that, then we'll have to create a custom catalog resource and point to the files which we have, created through manual entries or automated process. And then we have to enable the other aspects, the data discovery aspects of it, like you would want to turn on the data classification, which means discovering data classification, sensitive data, or associating to the business terms through the glossary associations. So these things are available for custom resource as well, and this should be set so that you can use the power of AI and the discovery capabilities of the Informatica's catalog. And once we have completed the configuration, we will go ahead and launch the resource, monitor the resource execution. And once the completion is done, then we'll go to the data catalog and follow the same steps as any other resource. You have to visualize the output of the scan, see if you see the metadata in the right hierarchy, all the relationships in place, and then curate the results like, maybe any data classification association or any business term association. So you can go to the AI discovery dashboard, like the Clear dashboard, and look for all those things. And these things are the same, for custom resource or any regular resource. But this is on a high level, all the activities which needs to be performed. At this point, I'll hand it over to my colleagues to, take us further deep into the custom resource processing. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, Avinash. Hello, everyone. My name is Kader. I'm a senior solution architect for data governance. Today, I'll be talking about what is a custom model and how do we build it, and then a quick demo, how to build a custom model, and then how we can ingest this custom metadata to showcase this custom metadata model in the cloud data governance. All right. So basically, a custom model is a collection of blocks. Blocks in such as package, classes, associations, and attributes. The package represents a container for the classes in the model. Basically, what are the classes that you will be creating as part of the model? That is a placeholder with reference to the package. And then a class is nothing but an object or a group of objects, and it has a set of attributes. Those are belong to itself or from a superclass. A class can be a folder, a file, or a database schema, or a table, column. So these are the examples. Basically, any object can be treated as a class. And then associations. Associations are nothing but hierarchy. The association between two objects can be called as a relationship or a hierarchy. So to build the relationship between the classes that we define in the model, we need the associations. The example for the association between the classes is like, you want to showcase the relationship between a folder to a report, and then the folder is placing into the project. So you all that definitions are the associations will be defined in this association. Or in a typical database model, the relationship between the database to schema, or the relationship between a schema to table or table to columns will be defined in the associations. And then attributes. Basically, attributes is a characteristics of any object. Basically, for the table, the characteristics would be the table name, when it was created, what kind of a table it is. For columns, the column data type, length, and whether it is a primary key or nullable. So we need all these blocks to create a custom model. To create any custom model, we need to first think about how we want to represent in the catalog, and arrange the hierarchies and define the classes. Let's say, let's take a simple example, custom metadata, which, I don't have a connector from Informatica to scan it. So this is my custom metadata extracted from an unsupported source, whereas then I have an application like an info vendor, and then inside that I have a couple of data sets, and then each data set has a few attributes to it. Now I need to, think in a way how I want to represent into the catalog. And then according to that, I need to define the classes, and then I'll be defining the association between those classes, and then finally tag those attributes to bring those characteristics of these objects. Once I have decided that, I need to design that custom model. Let me quickly show the association, how I want to showcase this model. Okay. So this is how I want to represent this custom metadata in my catalog. I want to showcase that application as a schema, and then the datasets as a table, and then the attributes as a columns. I've just taken a simple, a typical relation database model to simplify the visualization of it. Again, you can take anything. It could be a folder. From a folder, you can have a report. From a report, you can have a bunch of columns inside the report. You can define any classes. In that case, folder becomes a class, your report becomes a class, and then the columns inside the the columns of the report becomes a class. So those are all the classes. And then how you want to define folder and folder to report, a report to columns, or those hierarchies you can define with the help of associations. And once you define those associations, you will have these attributes to define who created this folder and what kind of a folder is this, or who created this report and what is the report type, what are the details it contains, and then the columns inside of it. So those bring out the class attributes. So once you define the hierarchies, once you have all those details, the next thing is going to the metadata command center and downloading the a sample JSON file or existing metadata file, and then putting the details together. I have logged into the IDMC metadata command center. I will be showcasing the demo how we can create a custom model, and then the steps related to it. And then we will use this custom model and we will create a custom resource and use all the files that we have created using the custom model and upload it and then run the scan, and we will be seeing, how the custom resource looks like, which we have built, on top of the custom model. All right, let's, dive into the demo. So I'll be going to the, customizations. What I need is now is a sample JSON file to build the custom model. So either I can use any existing custom models. So I have all these custom models, existing models that I can use to build my custom model, or I can go to this download template and click on the model so that it will generate the sample model where I can go ahead and start building my custom model. So I choose the one of the existing files to download and then start building it. So this is my custom model. I built it. So this is my package name. So as I mentioned during when we are defining the package name should not contain com.info or any keywords as an info. Those are designated for only system models. Since we are creating a custom model, give any package name that is gives us a meaningful context to that package. Once you define the package name and then just give a description why you're creating it, and then the label, how you want to showcase this package name. Once you define the package name label, now we will be moving on to the classes. So as we discussed previously as part of our slides that, we want to define 4 classes: schema, table, and then columns. So I'll be defining all of them here. So this is my custom schema. So this is my technical name. I guess kept it as a custom schema because we're creating custom things. And then the label, I want to showcase this as a schema. So I have given the label. Basically the label is where, this name will be visible in the catalog. So it will be showcased as a schema. And then we have a few other properties of this class. I'm not going to in detail for this. So we'll be giving a reference links. You can go in detail for that. So once you define this, this is the the notation of the classes. How you need to define the packages for the data source for the the root of the package. You will be defining it, and then we have a few more classes. Let's take a look at. And then is the custom table. The label will be table, and then this will be my data set. And then custom view, and the label for the view will be view, and this will be a data set. And then now we have to define the columns. So this is how I have named it, custom table column, because this will be the column under the custom table. And then I gave the name as a table columns. And then this is for the view columns. So we mentioned the name in this. So we have defined the 4 classes. The next thing is defining the associations. So the first association will be a schema to view. I've given that name, and then the label, how I want to showcase this, schema to view. And then the from class to 2 classes. We need to define the classes from which class to which class you are building this association or the hierarchy. So here, I'm using my package name. As I said in my first slide, or when I started, the package is a container for the classes, right? So I'm using whatever the package that I'm named it, I'm using here to build the relationship or the association here. So I'm using this package name dot the class name as from class to it to class. So the package name will be same for all the association, and the difference will be the class names from where to where. So this is my first association where I'm building a schema to view, and then my next association will be schema to table, and then view to column, and then table to column. So these are my 4 associations that I have defined. And these are my attributes that I would like to tag under these objects: length, primary key, data type. So for the time consideration, I'm not going to associate all these attributes to all the 4 objects, but for the one object that is column. So I'm going to class attributes. In the class attributes, I'll be defining this tagging. So how I'm doing it? So as I mentioned, you need to have your package name to define that. Package name dot my class name. So because I want to define this attribute under my column, so I have taken this column name. This is the class of my column. And then the attribute, which attribute I want to tag. So I have taken this, my package name, and then the attribute name. So with this, I have defined my class attributes. And this is how my custom model looks like. Once we have created this custom model, we need to go to the MCC back, click on new, click on customization, and then metadata model. Click on create. So you will be giving the package name here. That will be report.customdb. And then you need to choose this JSON file wherever you have this, and then upload it. Once you did that, all your models will be deployed. When initially you deployed this model, it will be in a draft version. You need to deploy that so that your models will be showcased in this here. Let me pull up the model that we have created here. So this is the model that we have deployed. Since I published, the lifecycle is showing as a publish, but when you created, it will be in the draft status. So now let's take a look at this custom model, how it looks like. So we have defined 4 classes. As I mentioned, these labels, whatever the labels that you have created, will be visible will be helpful to represent the visualization. So we have a schema, and then you have a table, view columns, and table columns. And then we have 4 associations. For the first association is a schema to view. This is what we have defined. Schema to view. So this will be the technical name, and this is the label will be your representation, and this is how it will look like when you see it. So the name is schema to view. And then other views that we have created, schema to table, and view to column, and table to column. So these are the associations and the attributes that we have created. Length, primary key, data type, nullable. So you can see all those attributes here, and your metadata model looks good. So what we need to do is, as the next step, we need to download the metadata of it to start preparing the the data that we need to ingest. For that, what we need to is go to this metadata models, click on the download template, and then go to metadata. Look for the model that you have created. So this is the model that we have created. Click on the download. So once you downloaded that metadata template, let's open it. So this is my model. So these are the templates that we got. So for each class, there will be one template will be created. So if you see, we have 4 classes: schema, table column, view column. So these are the classes that we have defined, and for each class there will be one template, and then these links template will be used to to associate all of them. So let's open each of them and see what we have. So each template will contain, the definition of it, and this is how you need to define all, the metadata, the external ID, so the unique ID for that metadata that you're defining, and the name, how you want to look like, showcase this, and then description about that class, and then if there is any, assignable thing that you have to define, you can define this, and then the business description, and then business name and reference. If you want to reference this object to any other object, you can mention here. Let me show you this with the field details, how it will look like. So this is how we have populated the data. So basically we have given this object. This is a template for the custom schema. So we have given the name as ID, and the same name you can define here. And then description about this. And then these are the like optional columns. We don't need to fill in this. But if you want to give any business description or business name, you can define it. But core.external ID and core.name will be the mandatory fields here. We need to populate them. So we have filled in the data for the schema. So our schema will be info vendor. Same as we will be filling the data for all the templates here. For a custom table, I will be giving the name as a customers. So this is the the notation that I will be following. This is my root of it. Info vendor will be my root of it, and then the sub root of it. So ID will follow this notation, and then here I will be defining the name of the object. So core.name. So customers, the table name will have to this is the table for the template. So core.name, I'm defining the table name as a customers, and I'm giving a description of the table. And as I mentioned, these are the optional columns. You can fill or you can leave it blank. Let's quickly look at the all other templates. Same. So we have given this as a root, and then main source, and then the schema to the view name, the description. Schema, table name, and column of it. And then here will be the column names. So this is the how the representation with the IDs will be of the metadata. So the name column, and then address column, ID column, and email address, and then description of it. And then we want to define the attributes for these columns, right? So here I have defined this. So the data type, for the data type class attribute, this is for the name, it is a varchar, and then the length 100. And is it a nullable? Yes. So these are the attributes for the column object. Same wise for the view columns. We have defined all the details. So once we have defined all these templates, so basically what we have done for each class, we have provided the names, how it should look like, and the metadata. Now we need to all associate them and then showcase in the catalog. For that we need the links to do it. So as I mentioned, this will be our main source as we defined in our model. Custom.schema. So you will be having a one data source. So this will be my source. So this is how you need to define this. Core.resource parent child. So this will be the main resource. Underneath that, we will be defining the association of it. So I have defined this way. And then we need to define our tables. For vendor, this will be my source and target. This is how our hierarchy is following, right? So here I'll be using the association. Whatever the association that we have defined between the schema to table, this is where I will use it. So whatever the association you have created here, you will be using the same association name, schema to name, here with the help of the package. As I mentioned, the package plays a big role. So with the notation of that, you will be defining all the associations here. So this is table to schema to table, and the next one is schema to view. So you will be defining the source, target, and then the association between it. And these are the table to view, sorry, table to column source. Source will be my schema table, and then my target will be schema table and then column. Same way for the views, schema view, view column. Once you define all of them, the association. Now I also want to have a the mapping between this table and view. For that, what I have done is I have mapped this table to this view, and I have defined the association. It is a, since these are the dataset level, so I have mentioned core.dataset because that's how we defined our classes here. If you see, a table will be dataset and view will be a dataset. So we have using this association core.dataset to map from a table to view, and then we have 4 columns in table, also in the view. So I'm using a directional data flow to map this name from a table to name from a view. So this is how I've defined. So once we define all of them, we need to go here and then make a zip file of all this information and then upload it to Metadata Command Center. So now we have everything ready, and I'm back to the Metadata Command Center. Now we are going to create a custom resource because we are creating a custom model. We don't have any connector from Informatica, so we will be creating a custom model. Custom resource. For that, first we need to define a custom catalog source type. So I'll be creating it by using it. When I do this, right, I'll be defining a name for this. So with that help of, I'll be creating a custom catalog source type. With the help of that, I'll be uploading the files to create a custom metadata model in the catalog. So since I have already created, I'm going to use this. So I'll type custom. So I have already created this custom scanner. I will click on that, and I will give a name, vendor sales report. This will be my resource name, custom resource name. You can give any description. So this is the latest feature as part of our CDGC we have gone. This is as under the technical preview now. So whatever we have done, we have created a custom metadata files that, and we are going to upload that. And if you want to supply all those files through the CDA task, so there is a feature available. So this is the one. So once you have that, you can click on a browse and you can choose all those mappings from CDI, and you can supply that, so that you don't need to manually create all those metadata files. So as part of this demo, we are going to choose all the files that we have created and prepared, and we are going to upload that. This is just technical preview. I'm just letting you know that this option is there. Customers can avail this and use it. So I'll be clicking on the browse, and we'll be creating, be choosing the file that we have created and all the templates. And basically this zip file contains all the templates, the classes that we have and the links, and then I'll be uploading that and I'll be submitting the job. So the one more thing is for the custom metadata model and the configurations, you can enable the data classification. You can also enable the glossary association on this, and then you can run this. It will help you to identify the glossaries, or if there is any metadata you want to classify them, it does this. So I have created this and successfully scanned it. Let me go to the data governance catalog. Let me show you that how it will look like. So this is the custom resource we created with the help of custom model. As you can see, we have one schema, one table, one view, and the columns inside that we have created. So with this, we have seen how to create a custom model, how to create a custom resource, and how we can successfully scan the things. Now I hand over the this presentation to my colleague Rakesh. He will further show you how to enrich the lineage between native metadata and then custom metadata. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks a lot, Avanish and Kader. Let me continue the demo. This is Rakesh. Let me share my screen. So let me put this presentation slide into presentation mode. So earlier, Kader and Avanish have covered two topics. One is what are the best practices and processes involved in creating custom scanner, and what is a use case to create a custom scanner. Now, we will start with one extra curation further to what Kader has presented on custom scanner. So this extra curation is trying to showcase the use case where you will have a requirement to connect a native object, native metadata object, which is extracted into catalog with the custom metadata object. In this scenario, we have taken Oracle table and column, trying to connect it using custom lineage to the custom data set and a data attribute, which are created as part of this demo. Now, to achieve this requirement, we need to prepare links.csv file, and then we need to upload it to a custom scanner in MCC, and then we need to run it, and then you can see the lineage. Now, before that, you need to prepare this links.csv. Links.csv is pretty straightforward. Pretty straightforward input file for catalog. So all that it has: source, target, and association. So what association represents? The association represents like core.data set data flow, represents the data flow between the data sets. It is at file to file, folder to folder, or table to table. And core directional data flow is at element level. It is at column level or field level or attribute level, whatever we want. We can link it up. So in this case, all that you need to get is you need to extract the UIDs of each of the metadata objects. Either it is custom metadata objects or native metadata objects. Those object IDs needs to be extracted and placed as a sample data, which is shown on your screen in this CSV file. All the data sets, data elements which are going to be contributing as part of this lineage needs to be added to this CSV file. We will see the lineage in the demo and next few more slides. Now I have kept a sample slide here, so which is showing the lineage. Like in this scenario, Power Center has been used. Power Center scanner has extracted the lineage of data flow between two Oracle tables, and then also we have connected the native object Oracle and the custom object which is created via custom lineage file. Now this lineage is at a data set level. Now let me move to the next slide. So here we have expanded the same lineage, but we are trying to show it data element level. So we are going to show all the attributes or columns which are part of this data set or tables which are participating in the lineage. In this lineage, if you see, data is flowing from one Oracle table, and then it is moving to one more Oracle table via Power Center scanner or a mapping. Now, this Oracle table has been connected to a custom object which is created, custom table which is created as part of this demo. And this relationship, the last relationship, is between the custom table and custom view, which is already been, this lineage is already part of the earlier demo, which is covered as part of association between table and view. Now, let me show you one more slide. So this slide shows you the capability where you can overlay, further explore this lineage or using other governance objects. In this scenario, I have shown you the overlay of this lineage with glossaries. Of course, you can further do it at policy level and other governance objects based that are available and curated in the governance. So before going into demo, I want to show you one more slide on reference links. So this is part of whatever knowledge articles we have used or we thought will be useful for doing your initial setup of cloud data governance, and then want to start with scanning using metadata scanner. We have all kept those and some other webinars or earlier webinars which we thought might be useful for you in developing this use case by your own. Now let me come out of the presentation mode and then let me go into the demo mode. Okay, I am flipping to data governance. The moment I log into my org, so I have chosen data governance and data catalog, and I'll be landing into the my dashboard page. Now, my dashboard page is a summary view of your data governance adoption. So it has got multiple widgets which can be modified basically, which is going to show you the summary view or adoption status or governance metrics, whatever we call in this dashboard. Okay. Now let me open the custom scanner which is created. So basically I want to show one custom scanner and native scanner and compare how they are visible or they can be consumed when they are extracted into metadata, and then when we are trying to see in the governance page. Now, so these are the objects which we have extracted: schema, table columns, view, and view columns, which are being extracted now. So let me click on the hierarchy. So this hierarchy shows the hierarchy. The hierarchy shows the relationship between different objects. So this is a customer table is created to this is customer okay, table is table, a customer object is a table, okay, is related to a view. Okay, you can see based on the object you select and click on hierarchy, that relationship overview will be slightly changing. Now let me expand customers and click on customer and click on content. The moment I click on content, it is going to show you the attributes and attributes definitions and other properties. So these are table columns which we defined as part of our custom model, and then we have also configured glossary and classification configuration as part of our resource configuration, which we can see here. So these are the glossaries which are associated as part of our scan, and this is the classifications we can accept or reject these associations. And now let me show you quickly the Oracle scanner. Oracle scanner, you can treat it as native scanner, which is having connection to the Oracle database. Here we have enabled scanning at not only a table view, we have enabled the scanning at programmable objects also. So you'll be able to see procedures and functions which are extracted into Oracle scanner. Now let me quickly connect to a table. Now you will be having more or less same view here. So you'll be able to see list of columns here, and you are also able to see glossaries and classifications, which you have seen in custom metadata scanner. The extra you are going to show you is the profiling results. This is the capability of the native scanner, where we will be able to extract the profiling results of the table to understand the pattern or distribution of data for a quick data analysis. So I just want to show you the difference. The difference at this point of time you can majorly find in the profiling ability of doing profiling on native objects versus not able to do the profiling at the custom objects. Now let us go into the lineage side of this story, which is extracted. So let me maximize this screen so that, okay, let me do a data set level, and then let me minimize the hops. So when you initially load, this is how the lineage looks like. Lineage looks, this lineage is at data set level, or now it is simple. It is showing simple direction flow of the data from Oracle table to a vendor table, and then from vendor table to vendor view. It's a simple lineage diagram. Now you can increase the hops, so not all hops are being shown here. So that is what this box is showing. Now let me increase the hops, maximize, apply. The moment I apply, it is trying to show you the all hops which are shown in earlier slide. Now, basically how the lineage has been established between Oracle tables is via Power Center scanner. Power Center is an ETL product which is doing data manipulations across different databases or same database, different tables. So that is what it is trying to show here. And then we have established a relationship via lineage between the Oracle table and the custom objects which we created. Now let us do the lineage at data element level, or you can call it as at attribute level or field level or a column level. So you'll be able to see same lineage. There is no difference, but you'll be able to see additional details in terms of columns which are involved in this lineage. Data is being moved from Oracle table to this custom asset, custom object which is created. This is a use case which we are trying to represent wherever the unsupported metadata objects which you have extracted, but you are able to still move the data between the native objects and custom objects. You want to show the lineage as part of your use case. This is how you can achieve the lineage end-to-end between custom objects and the native objects. Now there is one more last feature which I want to cover is overlay. So you will be able to overlay in the lineage with the governance object. So you have a lot of options here. You can do all the data quality. Now, once you have these results extracted into data governance and then curated and tagged properly, you will be able to overlay. At this point of time, I want to just show you the business terms. Now I'll click on apply. The moment I click on apply, it will try to bring all the glossaries which are involved in this lineage. So you will be able to see the lineage and then lineage view along with the glossaries which are participating, which are tagged as part of the scanner configuration, or these glossaries might have also been curated manually. So with this, I want to conclude the demo. Thanks a lot for joining today's demo and taking time. Okay, have a good day. Thanks. Let us get into Q&A session.
Hi all, we have reached the Q&A part. Please post your questions.
Hi everyone, this is Avnish. I'll take a few questions from the chat. The one which just popped up now from Praveen. It says there were model files which were shown in demo. Can you provide these files as well? I only see demo reference link, which is an Excel file. So I believe the files are uploaded there. If not all files, I think we can upload it later. But the Excel file is the CSV file, the metadata CSV file. We can also send out an email with the files to all the attendees as well, right? We have your email address as part of the registration process. We could do that as well, but you should find the CSVs in the reference section, Praveen, and we can send it over email as well. Maybe I'll just mark it as answered. And there were a few questions on, I think most of the questions are answered, but I'm just trying to pick a few where we need more information. I think most of the questions are answered, Harshika. We don't have any follow-up or new questions, honestly.
Yeah, Avnish, we'll give it 2 more minutes in case if you don't see any questions,
Sure.
then we'll close it.
Okay. All right.
Again, Praveen is asking one more question. He's able to see CSV files. He's asking for the model file, the JSON file. That will be uploaded, right, as part of the demo in Success Portal. Okay, you can get this demo uploaded into Success Portal. Along with this, we are uploading the demo artifacts to that mod, to that. To this Tech Tuesday as an attachment.
Thank you, Rakesh. Yeah. So we will upload those contents. Then, Well, one question from Sai is for BI tools such as Tableau, we will have to go with custom metadata approach, or do we have? So for Tableau, we do have an out-of-the-box scanner, and if you go to the reference section of the Tech Tuesday webinar or to the product documentation, you can see all the supported scanners. So Tableau, Power BI, these are there, so they are supported out of the box. You don't have to do a custom resource for that. And the list of supported scanners will keep growing with time. So before you do any custom scanner, I would say that, maybe just check with our support team by raising a case and ask for some ET on maybe the scanner which you are about to develop is already planned for a near-term release in a couple of months or so. So before doing the custom resources, we should follow some due diligence in order to make sure that we are not overdoing things. If we do have something already, or if something is about to be released, make use of that. So for Tableau in this case, you can use out-of-the-box scanner. But if there is any other reporting tool, then of course you will have to, with the one which we do not support, then you'll have to maybe follow custom resource model, and you can reuse some, as shown in our presentation, you can reuse some models which are already present in CDGC, export that and customize it accordingly so that you can, use it for your custom models.
Any more questions?
Okay, one more question popped up. Do custom models get impacted with quarterly upgrades we do? So no, the custom models which you upload, they don't get impacted with the quarterly upgrades. The things which are working will continue to work. In this case, yeah, custom models, no, they don't get upgraded. With time, we may add more things on models, or maybe so if we improve more things, like somebody asked, will we start showing, maybe profiling, and so those are the things maybe for the future we'll add more things, but the things which are working today, that will not get impacted. Your custom models will continue to work even with the upgrades. Another question has come up is, does custom model migration from environment to environment work in assurance package? I don't think so. It's not as a piece of code, like a DI set or something. So this needs to be uploaded from, within the environment. This won't be migrated from the assurance package, I believe. So if you're doing a custom model, custom resource in a non-cloud environment, you would be, I guess, trying the custom model in there, and then once your scan is completed, you would use the same file. And if it is you'll have to upload it to the production in org as well, where it is org specific.
right, we see no questions coming through. We'll end the webinar now. Thank you, Avanish, Rakesh, Kader, and Naveed for joining. And we kindly request audience to take up survey and give us feedback once this webcast ends. Today's webinar will be available tomorrow on Success Portal under the Resources tab. Thank you all for attending.
Thank you.
Thank you.